We've all seen the trailer for the Skeleton Crew. It's the next
which that looks
Disney
cool.
Plus.
It
Yeah,
looks cool.
listen, you can make anything look cool. You know, I mean, there's still creative cinematographers and artists in Hollywood. That doesn't mean that the story's any good. However, the Skeleton Crew is the next Disney Star Wars project that's going to be coming out in Disney Plus in December. And already the people who really like The Acolyte are freaking out. All right.
Mhm.
Partly is because of this. A few months ago, there was some reports that said Skeleton Crew, according to the Roach says, isn't being received very well at Lucasfilms. And it's not just them. There's been multiple reports since then that saying Skeleton Crew is not doing well according to the pre-screenings, according to reviews, according to inside of Lucasfilms, it's not screening well.
The Skeleton Crew, as far as the trailer is, what we see from the trailer and things that have come out, it feels like we were talking about this off recording, off video. It feels like they're trying to do a Steven Spielberg movie, like a
Yeah.
Super 8,
It
but
feels like the Goonies, right? That's what everyone online is
yes,
saying.
but there's one thing that the Goonies had that Disney's never going to give to the kids.
What is that?
What was it? It was back in the 80s, and Steven Spielberg he wanted it to feel real. And so he didn't make it look the kids be perfect. He made them cussing. He gave them imperfections of just them dropping an F-bomb in there, and you're like, that 10-year-old just Disney's never gonna do that.
Well, and they are also doing like what was the dude when the kid took his shirt off and did the jiggles? What was it? The truffle shuffle?
Yeah.
Was it the truffle?
Yeah. I mean, everybody loves a shuffle.
Everyone
Give
loves the truffle shuffle.
and give you one of your characters, name them Chunk, and make him do the truffle shuffle.
All right, well, listen to this. There's people online, the people who were supporting the Acolyte and were really upset that the Acolyte got canceled for season 2, are starting to say with the upcoming Skeleton Crew, they're starting to online say Disney films did not stand up for the racism that was in the Acolyte. They have to protect the kids from these toxic fans and bullying. All right. And I did find this information. Just want to give him a quick shout out on Drunk 3PO. He's a little bit more harsher with his content. That's fine. I enjoy his stuff. But he found some of this information. He found some of these social media
Drunk
posts.
3PO?
Drunk 3PO. He's a popular Star Wars channel. Don't hate on it.
Well, I was just gonna say it sounds like Critical Drinker. Is he affiliated with Critical Drinker?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So we have a couple people that are saying, Lucasfilms, please protect these children when the show comes out. Skull Cattern says, protect these children. And then Star Wars lore guy says, these kids are amazing and perfect. We need to protect them. I can't wait for Skeleton Crew. It's going to be perfect. Look, I am not going to say a thing. I'm not going to say it's going to be perfect. I'm not going to assume anything about this. I'm going to watch the show and I am going to review it respectively. I'm also going to come into it knowing that this is an open door for kids to enjoy a kid adventure inside Star Wars. I'm not going to hate on it, the fact that it's a kid show. I also, no matter how bad it is or good it is at any level, I'm not going to criticize and bully the kid actors.
I would
I'm a
agree.
critic of the Acolyte. I pointed out all of the issues, and nobody, including myself, attacked Amanda Stanberg until she started doing diss tracks and calling the fans racist.
I don't know if
That's when
that's true.
it's
Watch
partly
me
true.
clip
The
that out.
heaviest criticism, that we said and the whole internet was saying was that she does not know how to act good. She
Yeah.
does not emote her face, which is a very true criticism to give to another adult who
Okay.
probably got paid way more than they should have been for that role.
What if you had a Goonies Super 8 type movie inside of the Star Wars universe? How would you do it? How would you do it to make people like it and love it? Make them feel like it's Star Wars, but not too much of like it's a Remember Berries, and yet it would be a fun adventure thing.
Man, you're asking me a question that I haven't even begun to plot out yet.
Yeah,
Well, number one, I like their choice from the trailer. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. The Skeleton Crew
yeah.
trailer. I like that they're not on Tatooine. Thank goodness, because we've been on Tatooine so much.
We've been on
Um,
Tatooine a lot.
and it would make sense. Be like, let's do kids on Tatooine. I'm glad that they didn't do that. Um, the trailer makes it seem like they get a hold of a spaceship and they leave their
Yeah,
their home planet and go on an adventure in the galaxy. That seems a bit far-fetched for kids
yeah,
unless they're early, they have some kind of adult intervention there. Um, However, I can't say that's necessarily the wrong plot points. It's just a matter of scene to scene doesn't make sense. Do we have a roller coaster of emotion to follow the tempo of a story? Do we have a setup that's really clear and strong for these characters? Do we have the confrontation? And do we have a very strong conclusion as well? And so there's a lot of aspects to it that could make it bad. I don't think what I see from the trailer that the premise is bad, and nor do I have a disliking to the fact that it's a kid show. I think it would be an interesting take, and I'm way open to it, and I'll watch it because it's Star Wars. But I'm going to give my honest criticism, and it's not going to be hateful or bullying towards kid actors. Of course not.
yeah.
I mean, but at
I
the
would
same
agree.
time,
Well, I would like to see this. Almost feels like from what I saw. Never mind. I'm not gonna go down. That's kind of going down another rabbit trail.
I
Yeah.
mean, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think it's completely irrational to think that people who are fans of Star Wars, who are critical of the Acolyte, isn't it such an over exaggeration from your perspective for them to claim that we are just going to attack and bully children because it's the next Star Wars project that's coming out? And if the show is bad, that people online are just going to bully young kids? Do you think that's even based on your what you saw of the critique of the Acolyte, that's even
Ooh.
a rational point to take it to assume on people?
I know what these people are saying, and I'm gonna stand with them a little bit. I'm gonna be like here, kind of in the middle between both of you, because I think these are fans of Star Wars. They grew up with Star Wars, and like Star Wars Theory, he had to have been like a kid and been like, I love Luke Skywalker is cool and Chewbacca, and like that it's something from his childhood that he grew up with.
Yeah.
And people are just hating on it so much that he's frustrated with it. But on the other hand, he can see the things that Lucasfilms doing of, like I said, making uh a kids adventure movie or show would be fun. But if it's all perfect and these kids are just kind of like it's cheesy, it's not, there's no roller coaster there of, like I said, like give it some grit to it,
Hmm.
then it's going to be dumb, cheesy, and boring. And they can see, these people who are asking us not to criticize the kids can see that. But they love Star Wars so much that they are frustrated, and all they can do is say, don't criticize them, when that's not the solution. I think we need to criticize, but also figure out how to meet in the middle and say, okay, how can we fix this then?
Look, my perspective is yes, we're not going to bully and attack children because children don't have control over if they were a good choice to be cast or not. They got casted, okay? They acted in the role. And so I'm not going to, and we're definitely not going to come at him with any kind of race critiques. Definitely not. However, the story is the point of criticism. We can, if this is bad, which I don't feel like there's any super strong indications that it will be, other than we just coming off the heels of the Acolyte, but it's not the
Yeah.
same creators. It's different, right? And Star Wars Theory, to bring up your point, he did a reaction to the trailer. He thought it looked fun. And he was a
Yeah.
huge critic of the Acolyte. So
Um,
what I'm saying is I do not think it's a reasonable assumption to assume that people that were critics of the Acolyte are going to become bullies and mean-spirited towards these kid actors just because they don't like the show that they were in. They're going to be critical of the writers. They're going to be critical of the direction of Disney Star Wars, period. They're not going to attack the kids. Of course not.
No.
But they think it's the same. They think if you're critical of Disney Star Wars, then you're a bully and you attack, because that's what they've turned criticism that are fans of Star Wars who dislike the Disney current Star Wars. You know what I mean? They've made them one and the same, and I refuse to accept that harsh, ridiculous narrative, because it's incorrect and it's just wrong to kind of put on legacy Star Wars fans who just want really good Star Wars.